Cancelled.
Schweezy.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Oh, hello everyone. Let's get into this episode. We're back to like normal cancel Schweezy. We're no longer into the Christmas Schweezy season. We are now into what they call just normal cancel Schweezy episodes. What's up? Anyways though, I wanted to go over this article, this thing today I saw from like CNBC. Harvard Psychologist, if you say yes to any of these 9 questions, you're more emotionally secure than most. Now, after having to deal with family over Christmas and stuff like that, I think it's all, you're around your family and they just decide that like, hey, you're the problem. And then you realize, you're around other people and you realize I'm not a problem at all. I think my family are just kind of annoying and they don't like me or whatever. So I wanted to know, and it's also good. This is also good because people are like, women are too emotional to be president or whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But then men are just as emotional as women. We just are told to hide it earlier and more in life than women are. We're just told to hide it, and you grow up knowing that shit, And so I'm the kind of guy who goes to therapy, tries to work on himself, and even though your family won't go to therapy, at least you can work on yourself. So here, let's determine: am I? People call me a man child. People call me every. I've been called every name. I have been called that's not as, I've been called everything mine. There's not really a lot of slurs for white people. We kind of run things. You can't really make a slur for white people because, we just kind of run the world, at least for the most part. So, all right, let's see. Am I more emotionally secure than most people think? Everyone's checking this out. They're like, absolutely fucking not. Well, let's see. Number 1, can you listen to different perspectives you disagree with? Emotionally secure people are able to hear others' point of views without reacting to them in an aggressive way. Instead of going to battle, there is a flexible, empathic, and non-judgmental exploration of another person's reality, even during times of conflict and disagreement. I do try to listen, but that might be... I do. What was the dumb fucking thing I heard the other day? So it's a Roald Dahl. He wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, I said it right. He did Matilda. He's written a bunch of kids books, but very intelligent kids books. There is super deep meaning to his stories. Stuff like that. But some things you don't know about Roald Dahl is that he really did not like Jews. And which is interesting because he was known to be he was known as a World War II veteran. And that whole thing, a lot of it came down to him hey guys, I don't think you should be killing all the Jews. But it's funny. I think he said something along the lines of, things have to escalate, for because no one's just I want to exterminate every person from a specific race, that doesn't happen unless, people don't wake up and think that, the Jews had to have started. And, I'm listening to this and I'm don't try to make this make sense. Don't make a logical argument out of that, a fucking hate speech. Don't make a fucking logical argument out of that shit, I try to listen to people. I'm usually a big fan of I really I want someone to explain everything, get it out there. I don't want any missing information. I like to know. I like to have all the information. That's me personally. I like to have the information, but everyone's a little different. But so I usually listen to people. I let them finish, and then I'll tell them why they're wrong. That's how we do it. So you should. Yeah, actually, I do think it is a good idea to be and also Yeah, you should listen to other people's perspectives. I mean, like, that's how I'm kind of like, 'cause I don't think if I tried to understand other people's perspective, I wouldn't have understood, like, the Black Lives Matter movement. I wouldn't have tried to, all the LGBT alphabet people rights, I wouldn't have, like, gotten really invested into that. If I didn't sit down here, because, I used to be super Christian, so, like, for me to be like, you know what, I think trans kids should feel safe existing. That's why I wear a Protect Trans Kids shirt, and I have multiple stickers of it, because I'm like, just because someone doesn't like the gender they're born with, is not a good excuse to fucking murder them, Like, disagree with all of you want, and be like, I don't think it's right to be transgender. Then don't be transgender, But, like, I don't know, Number 2, can you set healthy boundaries? Emotional security is associated with knowing yourself and setting limits based on your values. Consequently, emotional secure people can articulate how they want to be treated and set guidelines for how they will respond if those boundaries are not respected. Boundaries are, especially healthy boundaries, have been a recent thing in my life that I've been trying to set up. Like, in my 20s, I would just, I'd let people talk to me anyway or whatever. I wouldn't, I'd just let it happen, and, you think, oh, someone has whatever over me, like, what's going to happen, like, if like, if a boss at your job is disrespecting you, is severely disrespecting you and insulting you, like, they're already trying to fire you, so just stick up for yourself, at that point, don't get emotional, don't get too aggressive, like, don't get violent, because then they have a lawsuit. But though we all know someone at a workplace we would love to just fucking knock the teeth out of their mouth, just fucking, oh man, you think about that. You think about a former employer, you're just like they sit you in a room with a couple other people, and then you're like, hey guys, I would like to ask you to leave. This is going to be between me and him. And then that's what happened, I'm actually very bad. I mean, I get very bad about boundaries, and stuff like that. So I've actually, what my therapist told me, like, I've set up too many, like, healthy boundaries where it's like, oh, now you just don't do anything. So yeah, definitely figure out your boundaries, people. I could, things I would actually tell younger me, it'd be like, set up boundaries, don't let people talk, don't get emotional during arguments, and don't let people talk, let people insult you and disrespect you like that. 100% something I would definitely like doing. Just, that's something I would set up, like, at least, I think I've always had boundaries, but I think healthy boundaries, understanding that, like, you just think about, like, I remember I worked at Target, when I absolutely hate it if someone tells you something, and then, you relay that information to someone else, and then we confront half the person because we have to confirm or deny it, and then they just straight up lie. That fucking shit, when people just, it's just like a lie, I'm like, didn't you say this? You're like, I never said that, and, like, they just lie like that. I fucking can't stand shit like that. That could be a fight, or more of like an argument right there. If like someone like relays some information with me and then they just straight up lie later, I'm like, I will confront them. I have no problem with that shit. I don't know. It's called, I guess this is growing up. Can you admit when you're wrong? All of us are wrong sometimes, but it can be very difficult to own up to it. Emotionally secure people can acknowledge when they've made a mistake, take responsibility, and apologize for their actions. And I try to apologize for, but I'm also, I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. But my problem is when I am right a lot, because I'm just the fucking best. Yeah, you meet a ton of people who will not admit they're wrong. I'm probably related to me, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, people, I don't know. I hate it when people don't take accountability for themselves, I think my best example would be like Ethan Klein from like H3, like he never takes like he he got, he was punching up for a while, but nowadays they're like H3 is so popular that like he always punches down because like that's the only place he can punch. He can't punch. There's nowhere left up to go. I'm like, yeah, I guess you could try to fight Jeff Bezos, but it's not going to matter. So you just fight small ass people, But like you're also never wrong in this situation. That's kind of the type of person I am. So be willing to apologize, but also at the same time, if you're right, don't apologize. Don't apologize for things you mean, and apologize for things that you know are wrong. The things you eventually figure out, like, yeah, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And then, like, oh, that wasn't wrong. I shouldn't have. Sometimes you apologize for no reason because it's like, oh, make the peace or whatever. Do you know your core values and beliefs? Are you able to communicate your perspective in a respectful way, even when others may strongly disagree? Emotional security is associated with being authentic, knowing one's values, and acting in a way that's consistent with them in all life situations. I would give myself this. I'll give myself this one too. I'm 4 for 4 right now. I think, a big belief is I'm very against religion. Especially I'm super against evangelical Christianity. But what you guys don't know is about my personal life. You think I'm a dick, and that is probably the persona I give you on this show. But I do know genuine people, because I used to be in the Christian shit. So I do know genuine people who still believe the nonsense and have like been very respectful and stuff like that. And like they're like, you want to come to our Bible study? I'm like, like my actual answer is, I don't want to go to your fucking Bible study. I don't believe in that shit. And fuck you for, and not fuck you, but like, you're retarded for believing. We said it. And yeah, you're just dumb and stupid for believing that. I would never say something like that. Like that's just it's called being an asshole. And so don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. It's bad. Because apparently you're an asshole if you do shit like that. So no, don't be like that guy. But also, no, like you're worth. Like when I get invited to a Bible study, I try to politely decline. Especially the real people. But then you're like, I don't know, people will come at me. Every time I hop on Threads, it's just some evangelical shit that I'm just like, and I want to say something mean to people, like how wrong you are, and then I'm like, I don't think this is helping. I don't think this is good for anyone. So don't do that. Can you express negative emotions respectfully? Being emotional secure means communicating your feelings in a respectful way that focuses on your internal experience. Often this is reflected by using I statements like I feel or I think, instead of blaming others for your circumstance. I want to give myself 50% on this one. I don't like to blame others. I like to take, responsibility for my actions. I do. However, confronting people who annoy me or who've just gotten on my nerves, I'm not good at it all because I think, I always feel like as a kid, I always feel like a scapegoat. Like, my brother got in trouble and then he would just blame me and I would say I didn't do it, but I don't know, my parents wouldn't believe me. I don't know, just like most situations, like I was like a normal kid. It's just like people always tattled on me. And so that just makes me not, I have like a lot of trust issues and stuff like that. So, it's always hard to like, if I went to my parents, like with, if I had like a problem and I felt sad or some shit like that, I didn't have that, I didn't have that resource. I didn't have anyone to come to, but, I can't take responsibility for my own actions, but, I'm in therapy, y'all. You can shut the fuck up. I'm in therapy. You're like, this dude's got a lot of problems. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm in therapy. So don't do that to me. Can you take criticism from others? Receiving constructive feedback without immediately rejecting it or lashing out is a key sign of emotional security. It means you have a strong sense of self and that it's take into consideration other people's perspectives and other opinions about your approach to things without taking them personally. So I hate getting criticized. But I just get over it and move on. Because, especially if you work in music, like, you have to take criticism. Like, criticism happens, and, like, you're going to get you're getting criticism whether you want it or not. And it kind of sucks when it's you don't want it. But I've kind of had to learn that, like understand when you should and shouldn't take something personally. And people think, like, how do you survive, like, substitute teaching? I'm like, I just don't, whatever they say, I don't take it personally. It's probably not about me. Like, I'm not doing anything to them. If, like, I would kind of figure it. I mean, like, I'm making them do school shit or whatever. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm the bad guy. But, but if, like, a kid lashes out because of that, I'm like, I'm not going to take it personally. Like, they probably have shitty parents, Like, that's usually the case with kids, It's like, is this kid an asshole? Maybe there's probably something in their mind that's blank spot or whatever, Some fucking shit like that. But yeah, if you decide to get into music and you don't like criticism, pick a new career. First of all, don't go into music. There's already too many musicians. There's too many goddamn songs. There's too much everything in this industry. Stop going into music. I intentionally decided to not do sports because I'm tired of competitions, and if I don't want music to feel like a competition. So everyone stop playing music and give me more space to be the best, Number 7, do you continually strive to change and grow? The most emotionally secure people have an appreciation for the journey of life and the process of evolving over time. They are not afraid to embrace change. They find joy and satisfaction in the idea of learning and becoming the best versions of themselves. I pride myself on always trying to be the best version of myself. Am I there? No, but I do try to do better. I am one of the few men in therapy, and therapy was not made for men, because it's like, I was going to be like, I read something, like, it was a YouTube video, and they were talking about how, like, yeah, talk therapy is just not designed for men, just because, like, men are raised in such a way where, like, you have a problem, like, you have to fix it and, like, go into so many different areas in regards to, like, fixing a problem, where I think women have something, like, they're raised where it's just like, yeah, you need to go find a man for help. And, like, to be a man, it's like, oh, you have to be able to do anything you need to do. Like, you have to rise up to the occasion to do it. I'm like, and that's, it's fucking hard. And then you're like, I'll give you something to cry about and shit like that, It's like, yeah, you can't be emotional and shit like that. And then women are like, I'm not attracted to emotional men. So it's like, I don't know, I'm going to be the best version of myself, and I'm going to leave you dumb bitches behind. That's what I'm thinking. Can you stop yourself from reacting impulsively? Emotionally secure people tend to be skilled at deliberately choosing their responses to difficult situations. In this way, they aren't usually reactive or impulsive in their relationships and can articulate themselves clearly even when they're angry or upset. I'm very bad about that, and I will tell you, I'm working on it. I am telling you, this is actually something I'm working on. I'm not just making up shit to be like, I am actually the most emotionally mature man for all time, because no, I act impulsively all the time. You can't get this fat unless you're impulsive, like, okay? Like, I get to a level where it's just, like, impulsive. You don't have fucking little jars of whiskey on your little podcast desk unless you have some impulse problems, It's just at least, I think I have, like, more impulse and, like, just stuff like that. So it's nice to be like, I'm not addicted to anything. I just like binging and impulsive and shit like that. And on to our last one we got here. Do you trust that you'll be okay no matter what challenges come your way? Emotionally secure people know that life can be difficult, and they have a general acceptance that they will deal with the hardship as it comes. They also have a deep sense of gratitude for what is important to them, which helps them through the rough patches. Being emotionally secure not only boosts our mental health, but it gives us the confidence to try new things and express ourselves freely without a fear of rejection. The more secure we feel in our own skin, the more freedom we have to enjoy our lives while building meaningful, authentic relationships. And it does say the author of this article, Dr. Courtney S. Warren, PhD and a board-certified psychologist and author of a new book. Okay, so like she's qualified. Do I think I'll be okay? I don't think I'll be okay. But however, I do feel like I can survive. I can survive it. That's my ideal. Like, will I be able to handle it? No. Will I be able to survive it? Yes. At least that's how I feel. At least right now in like my life, I'm just, trying to figure shit out. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's good advice for you. I feel like all of you, I just want to give you all advice. Life sucks, but you can handle whatever comes your way. You just might need like a drink or a smoke or a Zyn nicotine pouch. Not patch. Patch and pouch are too close words. Also, Zyn. We need to figure out a new word for you. But yeah, anyways, though, I would say I'm pretty emotionally mature. I would say I'm at least I would say at least I'm a 7.5 out of 10 or 9. 7.5 out of 9, the ideal rating, just realizing that I am emotionally secure and
I identify as a fucking threat.
Thank you for watching this clip. Watch it again or watch something